Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is Matt, the Helpful Home Inspector, coming at you live from Hartford, Wisconsin. We got the studio up and running. We got a great show in store for you today. Lots of good stuff. So we're gonna our main topic today is going to be about pellet stoves. We're going to talk about pellet stoves and how you can use them to heat your home, how to take care of them, costs associated, efficiencies, all that kind of good stuff. And then we're also going to be getting into a couple of other things. We have a mystery box battle. Oh, we got Bob Gorde stepping in here. Larry Berg's going to be here in just a little bit too. He just got done. How's it going, Larry? Come on in, buddy. Have a seat. Or did you go to get a coffee or something? You've been talking for an hour.
I'm good.
You're good? Larry just was on the Fix It show with Dave Nason. Just wrapped that up or whatever, and he's jumping in here with us today. But we got a lot of fun stuff going on. And this show, you guys, are going to be a weekly opportunity for you to get a little bit more information on how to better maintain and take care of your home. And you can also view it if you're not able to tune in on Saturday mornings. We are going to be saving it as a video on YouTube. You can view it there. We'll also have it on our Facebook channel. And you want to go on to the Helpful Home Inspector at Facebook and follow us there. And we'll be putting out stuff twice a week. And then we'll put out the Saturday morning show as well. Now, as far as the Saturday morning show goes, we are going to be breaking it up into smaller video pieces as well. There'll also be a podcast that if you're driving to work on Monday morning, you want to listen to what we talked about with pellet stoves and stuff, you can download it from Google, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. You'll be able to use it, listen to it in your car, and get all the good information and updates and all that kind of fun stuff. So great show coming up for you guys here today. And really looking forward to getting into some of this stuff. Now, one of the things that I want to bring in on here, we are going to have a different co-host every week, and we have 5 co-hosts, and they'll be rotating. So Bob's going to be here with us this week. Bob Gorde, 30-year contractor, 4-year home inspector with us with our HSH Property Inspection, which is our multi-inspector firm that we operate here in southeastern Wisconsin. Bob lives down in Dousman, nicknamed the Sasquatch. He's got a great wife at home, Kate, and he's got 4 little Yeti children that are not small anymore. They're all grown. But Bob, how you doing?
I'm doing good, but you should be careful about the Yetis.
They're
bigger.
They appreciate it. They all have a good laugh. You know, they'll let John come up north and push down a tree again or something like that. But yeah, Bob's going to come in here, give us a little bit of expertise from time to time, and really get into some of the nitty gritty about home maintenance, home care. Bob did construction for 30 years and remodeling and that kind of stuff. So he's got a wealth of knowledge to share with us. So the first thing we're going to get into is the defect of the week. So the defect of the week, we had a short about this earlier in the week. I was down in Sugar Creek at a house in 1912, something like that. It was built. They had basically looked like old barn beams for structure in the basement, like they had stolen them out of a decrepit barn, you know, and still had all the notches from the old barn wood and stuff. And go down in the basement, and these things are just rotted, just like falling apart. They're soft like spongy foam, you know. I took my scratch awl and I poke it or whatever, and then the scratch awl sinks halfway in, like 3 inches into this wood, and these are the beams holding up this whole house, you know.
We're dry rotted, basically.
Basically dry rotted, and just age rotted. You know, it's I don't think it was from excessive moisture or insects or termites or anything weird like that. But pretty crazy. I have a little video here. Tammy, I switch it over to the computer there. Hey gang, Matt the Helpful Home Inspector coming at you from a house down in Sugar Creek, Wisconsin, built in 1930. Got some of these old wood beams. Okay, which in general aren't terrible. However, we're coming across some of this dry rot stuff, so you can see that stuff there. We're also, when you get dry rot, you get these little pinholes and stuff like that. Today we're using the scratch awl, and guys always see that in my bag, and they're like, why the heck do you carry a scratch awl? Let me show you why. That shouldn't happen. The wood should be firm. The wood should not be soft like this. Look at that sucker. That's 3 inches into the piece of wood. Eesh. You know, see how that doesn't stick in at all. Here, whoops, no good, no bueno. So here they actually have main beam. Now the crazy part was these guys, they took these 2x10s and screwed them to the rotted wood beam with just like deck screws, you know. And yeah, I'm like, it's like you're screwing into a sponge, you know what I mean? It's not going to support anything, and it's not like these 2x10s were supported at the end. They're just like face screwed into the wood. I'm like, holy man, this is a hot mess. Now the funny part is the real estate agent on that the real estate agent on that calls me up, and they're like, well, we had an engineer come out and take a look at this. And the guy was like, oh, well, you can put some paint stuff on there, and that'll help solidify up the rot. And these beams, they should do fine. These 2x10s are really doing a lot to support this. I'm like, what kind of engineer did you hire here? This is crazy, And she's trying to tell me that this guy was back and forth trying to rationalize what he was saying and stuff. He didn't show up with any tools, didn't have a moisture meter, didn't have a level, he had nothing, And I'm like, what is the heck is going on? And you can see in the pictures clearly that the wood is like just rotted and deteriorated and like just falling apart, And I'm like, well, here, show them the video that I shot, She's like, oh, you shot a video? Yeah, here, you go, take a look at it. And she was going to show it to the guy, but I'm like, holy man, you got to get somebody else in there that knows what they're doing.
More white paint.
More white paint. That's crazy. Or like that stuff that people it's not caulk, but they like patch it with rot and stuff. They patch the rot with like this. It's a caulk filler type product, but awful.
That's a lot though. When
it
you
is.
sink that thing in 3 inches. I mean, that's a big beam, but that's soft.
Yeah, that was the main beam. So that was the main beam. The other ones were like joists almost essentially, and then they had 2-inch thick subfloor on there. Right. But holy man,
and you'd never know it unless you did that test.
Oh yeah, if I didn't poke it or whatever, you can
push
you can
on
see,
it, but still,
like I could see there was probably a problem there. But it was. If you pushed on it, your finger sunk in. I mean, I showed the scratch all because the scratch all went really deep, But you could push it with your finger, and you could feel that it was spongy and soft and stuff, So
that's when you turn and run.
Yeah, well. These people, they got a deal on the house. I mean, it's a nice lot. I mean, the house it was a flip basically. I think they had it rented, and then the guy fixed it all up to sell it, And what ended up happening was they put all new flooring in it, all new countertops, they redid the bathrooms and all this stuff. I mean, you walk in and you're a young couple buying your first house. You're like, holy cow, this is awesome. I got new countertops, new appliances. I got all this cool stuff, and it just. Yeah.
Were they noticing anything because of that structural issue?
Yeah. So the floor, when you go in the master bedroom, it was like humping it and stuff, and you're walking on a slope or whatever, and they're like, we never noticed that. It's something that until I pointed it out, they didn't think about it. They were just, oh, this is a nice big bedroom, and my kids can sleep over here, and the kitchen looks great, And that's what everybody does when they go into a house. But until you have somebody come through like us, that's kind of a critical third eye, you don't notice those types of things. And so when I put a card down on the floor and I say, walk over the card from the window, and they're like, holy cow, I feel like I'm walking downhill, in your master bedroom, Not good. So that was the defect of the week. And if you want to watch that short video, you can go on our YouTube channel and tune into that and get some tidbits out of there. But it was interesting. The next thing we're going to talk about is we always want to bring everybody something that they can do to save $1 in their home today. Okay, and one of the tips that I always give everybody is always improve your weather stripping around your windows, doors, that kind of stuff. Make sure you're getting a nice good seal. There's lots of different types of weather stripping. It shouldn't hinder your door operation. It shouldn't hinder your window operation, but it can save you a lot of money and keep that heat in your house. So very important to take care of the weather stripping on your windows and doors. So go check that. And not very expensive to improve.
No, and it's easy to fix. I mean, Kate and I have been in our house 36 years. We have Anderson casement windows. Yeah. And just last year, I went to Anderson and bought all new strips for around every window.
Sure.
So we're talking 85, and they came off and put the new ones in.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Oh, it does, yeah. Anderson windows are great, too. That's what
and those are the things you don't realize unless you feel a breeze, because there is breeze coming in when your weather stripping goes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Makes a big difference.
You don't have to have a thermal imaging camera to know that you got a problem, So, yeah. But, Bob, one of the things I wanted to ask you is you are now retired. Bob worked with us for 4 years, and he's now retired. I'm like, is there anything you miss about being a home inspector? Besides me, I know our daily conversations were.
Well, I did put down 3 things, and obviously the people are the first thing.
Yeah.
Just enjoying, the interaction with people every day, new people.
Bob was a hugger. Bob's on his like 3rd solo inspection, and I get a call from the realtor or whatever, and I was like, well, hey, how'd Bob do? He's like, it was a little weird because when he walked in, he just started hugging everybody. I'm like, what? He started hugging. He's like, yeah, he hugged the client, he hugged me, and I call Bob up, and he's like, Matt, I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Well, feel relaxed that way.
Yeah. Bob is a great communicator, and he can be friends with anybody in no time. We went into one house, and the lady was there by herself. And next thing you know, I turn around, Bob's sitting at the kitchen table having a prayer with her, and then he gives her $10 and a hug before we leave. And I'm like, Bob, what are you? We're home inspectors. We got to be professional. He's like, she needed that.
Social worker / home inspector.
It was great.
So the people. The second one I wrote down was the oh my's. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then pictures. We take pictures or we FaceTime each other when we're doing the inspection.
Yeah.
That was some of the best stuff that, I had was just like the beam.
Yeah, yeah. Usually you don't like to be in group text, but when you're in our group text with the rest of our inspectors, we got 4 inspectors. It's just some of the stuff we pass along to each other, and it's a cool support system too. Though when we're in a house and we come across something weird or goofy, or
because
something
sometimes
going on,
you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's always nice to call up an expert like Larry, but sometimes we have some great experts that were just on our text phone, on our text message,
and laughing.
Yeah,
I mean laughing.
Oh yeah.
The last thing I put down was the guys.
Yeah,
and the girl. There is one girl in the HSH team.
Tammy runs the show in the background.
So I miss those guys.
Yeah.
You guys. So
yeah. Awesome, man. So let's get into our topic of the day here is pellet stoves, and we have an expert in this, Larry Berg from the Fire Factory. Larry is the owner of 2 companies actually that are kind of intertwined, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
So the Fire Factory is fireplaces, pellet stoves, outdoor grills, fire pits, all that kind of stuff, right?
Correct.
And the Chimney Concepts is the other company, and that's chimney repair, chimney cleaning, chimney inspections, chimney construction, right?
You got it, Matt.
Yeah. And the Fire Factory, if you're interested in what they have to offer, you want to go check out. They do have a showroom, and that's out on Highway 33 in Port Washington. I had the hours here: 9 to 5 during the week, 10 to 2 on Saturdays, and they have lots of different examples and stuff. Obviously, they don't probably have all of the examples of stuff that you guys offer up there, right?
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, it's a pretty big showroom, but we're always adding more.
Yeah, well, there's always new stuff
coming
coming
out.
out.
The space.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a big space. From I saw it online or whatever, it looks like it's a big, huge showroom.
Yeah, we're right around 7,000 square feet.
That's big, man. Cool. And then as far as their operating area, Ozaukee, Washington, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Southern Sheboygan County. That's just your general operating area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for services in those areas, as far as any type of wood stove, fireplaces, all that kind of stuff, give them a jingle. Phone numbers, the phone number for Fire Factory and Chimney Concepts are up on our website. If you go to our website, thehelpfulhomeinspector.com, we do have information in there about the Fire Factory and Chimney Concepts, and you can get their phone numbers and email addresses and websites and all that kind of stuff there if you'd like. Now, as far as the Chimney Concepts was the original business, right?
Yeah, that's what. We started doing chimney repair and cleanings, maintenance.
Sure.
Yep.
And was that your background, where you came from, or did you like?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't just start a chimney cleaning business, right?
Yeah, after college, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Basically, it started off doing is my job after high school. My dad and my grandfather were both in masonry, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
And
then Fire Factory
there
grows out of that.
Yeah,
right?
You do chimney repair, and then you my main thought was, hey, I want to do something that people really are really looking at and appreciating. Sure. So I went to fireplaces, and then the store came about, and
yeah. Well, and the guys
goes from there.
The guys that you have fixing chimneys and stuff, the chimneys and fireplaces are so intertwined that they probably already knew a lot about all this stuff. So it just was a natural movement over. So
yeah.
Very cool. And then let's see, as far as the fire management systems, like pellet stoves, fireplaces, whatever, however you're managing fire in your home or outside your home, what's the most common one that you guys sell?
Definitely gas.
Gas fireplace.
And that depends on the area that you're in. We are, somewhat close to Milwaukee here, so generally the more urban you are, you're going to be doing a lot of gas. Mm-hmm. As you get a little bit more rural, you're going to be doing more wood and alternatives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely gas. However, the last few years, last couple years, I should say, wood burning has become very, very
People are
popular.
getting back into it.
Yeah, getting back into it.
Yeah.
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 Your inserts too. I mean, wood burning inserts they're monsters.
Yeah.
The BTUs off of those things are crazy.
Yeah. Doing a lot of inserts, a lot of retrofitting.
Yeah.
Whether it's gas or wood.
Sure. Now, when it comes to the gas fireplaces, does it make a difference if they're on propane?
For function,
Yeah.
not necessarily. People tend to go to alternatives if they're on propane.
Yeah, because of the
fill expense,
it up more frequently. Yeah.
But no, they're it's simple conversion, just like your grills.
Yeah, grills and fire and furnaces too.
Right.
Easy conversion there.
Yep.
All right, so get into pellet stoves. One of the things that we got to talk about and explain to some people that have never had a pellet stove before, never seen one before, what exactly is a pellet stove? Bob's got 2 of them in his house, right? You heat
Yeah,
your
we
house
started with one in the basement, probably 28 to 30 years.
and that's a standalone, right?
And that was a standalone, yeah. But
Yeah.
that one, and we got that from Earth Sense,
Mm-hmm.
which is up in the Appleton area up there. And that one burned corn.
Yeah,
We
so
burned corn for a while.
Bob's had a pellet stove a lot longer than I have, so.
Yeah.
And generally they started burning with corn if that's what was around. But generally a pellet stove is something you're gonna put fuel into a hopper, and it is going to then feed that fuel, depending on what setting you have it at, a certain amount of pounds per hour, basically.
Down into like a little burn chamber. You can see they got one there. This is our
Right.
live feed up here.
So you have an auger system that's feeding this fuel, and it's gonna some of the newer ones are bottom feed. The one I have is a top feed, so it drops it down into the pot.
So bottom feed would have to have a conveyor to get it up, right?
Yeah,
Into there?
and generally, it's just an auger system. So it's a large screw type system that's gonna, grab this fuel, and it's going to drop it in, depending on what your setting's at.
As far as high, medium, low, number of pellets in is more heat out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're generally burning between 1 and 5 pounds per hour, I would say.
And you have to mix in oxygen, of course, right?
Yep.
So there's got to be some kind of blower because like yours is sealed, right?
Well, they're all sealed. Yeah. When
Yeah.
you open them up, they're not made to be open
Yeah.
and run.
Right. So they're basically, you're going to have the air intake usually on the back of the unit.
Yeah.
You can either hook that up directly to the outside, or you can use your house air, and you'll have a little damper on that usually that you can open and close.
Oh, control how much air goes in. Okay.
Yeah. In my house, I have it just pulling from the house. Some people pull
Yeah,
it
I've
from
always done
outside.
that.
Now
I've
that
always
does
done that. Yeah.
that does affect efficiency though, because now your furnace that you have in your home, you're using some of that heated air that you made for combustion, right?
Little bit. However, sometimes we've seen more problems with outside air than
Because of the temperatures.
inside air. Temperatures, condensation, things
Yeah.
like that.
Well, and it's going to do that. It's not going to affect it as much as say like a wood fireplace where it's just
we're
open
talking
face.
about smaller, much smaller amounts of air needed for these pellet stoves or a sealed wood stove than you do for an open fireplace.
For sure, sure. Yeah, because like a general wood fireplace, I'm like, have it for ambiance. Don't have it for saving money, because otherwise you're just sucking all your furnace air out,
Exactly.
and your furnaces turn on and operate more. People think that, well, I'm going to heat my house with this wood fireplace. I'm like, well, it doesn't necessarily work that way, unless it's like the fall or something where you're not running your furnace. Then hey, draw all the air you want, But yeah. Now, as far as pellets go, pellets basically are a compressed wood product, generally sawdust and stuff, high pressure, and put them together into these little, probably usually about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch long, about a 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and you can get them in all different kinds of woods, right? Now, Bob talked about running corn. I mean, you can run alternative fuels, but how does that affect like its function and cleaning and that kind of stuff? I mean, when you switch over to corn, it's going to be dirtier probably, right?
Well, you're burning a fuel that has usually a little bit more moisture in it. I mean, it's got to be dried. It's got to be a certain type of corn. And you can end up with more of a what we call clinkers. So the product building up its byproduct in the pot.
Sure.
Corn's a little bit trickier, so you're gonna, it's always got to be moving or remove.
Right.
That.
The stove I had years ago had an auger inside the pot that turned
Yeah.
real slow, and the pot was curved on the bottom, and so when it came down, it'd break that clinker of corn up.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about the corn was the mice.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
and we didn't realize that, early
Yeah.
young couple, we didn't know. We bought corn, and before we knew it, we had, more mice than we had corn.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now you're solely heating your home with the pellet stoves.
I have all electric heat, but we don't really use it. We use just the pellets. Yep.
Yeah. And with that, how many bags do you go?
We buy
through a
8
year?
tons of pellets every year,
Tons.
and we keep 40-pound bags. So we put 3 tons in the garage, and we'll put 5 tons in the basement. And yeah, it's just it's a ritual.
How do you get that down there?
I've created a door in my garage, and we're able to slide the pellets down and right into the storage area.
Sure,
So,
sure. Holy cow! So a lot of pellets, man.
a lot of pellets.
Yeah.
That
It
is a
keeps
lot.
you busy.
How much is that? I mean, you got to know how much that costs because you're buying it all at once, right?
Yeah, and I think right now you're looking at ranging $250 to maybe $300 a ton.
Okay.
So 8 ton.
$4 to $6, $4 to $8 a bag.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
quite as much as that. I don't
4
think.
to 6.
I'd have to talk to the boss about that.
Yeah. Is there a difference between a standalone system and a pellet stove insert? I mean, operation-wise, it's the same, right? Does the back of your standalone one get hot that you could have air movement around it? versus the insert
That's a
doesn't?
luxury of pellet stoves. I mean, there's no heat on the sides, the back, the top, just the front. The door is what gets warm. So
Yeah.
that's what's nice about it.
Yeah, and as freestanding unit, there is going to be a good convection system there.
Yeah.
As opposed to an insert.
Yeah.
An insert is going to kind of have to force that air, or
Into
just
the
through
space?
the unit itself, where your freestanding unit is going to, because you have that natural heat coming off of it,
You can
you're
naturally
going
move
to
around
kind
it.
of pull some
Yeah.
of that air.
Kind of like if you had a radiator system or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And with that, one of the key to not having cold and hot spots is probably air movement, right, in the room. So having a ceiling fan running
Ceiling
on
fans,
low or
yep.
something like that, just circulating the heat around. Otherwise, like people that have boiler have boiler and registers that never had them before, they're like, man, the far side of my daughter's room is always cold. I'm like, yeah, you need to get a ceiling fan, and the other side's really hot, right? She's like, well, yeah, it's behind the bed. I'm like, well, okay, so you can't cover it up, and you need to have good air movement around it, or else you're not going to transfer that heat to different parts of the room and stuff, So boilers can be great, and registers and all that kind of stuff, but if you don't have that air movement, just like with a pellet stove
And the right air
insert.
movement too. I mean, ceiling
Yeah.
fans are great, but winter up, summer down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes a difference.
What about those? I know you use them. Those little heat generated fans that don't use any power. That basically just
Right,
heat.
and for pellet stoves, won't work because you
Doesn't
need
work.
that heat,
Oh, 'cause
that
it doesn't get
massive
hot.
heat from the top of a wood burning stove
Yeah.
to make those fans work. So,
So those fans would not work on a pellet stove.
Yeah,
no,
they don't
wouldn't
work. They're going to maybe spin a little bit, but
yeah,
the
need a
heat
lot
that
of
you get on the top of the pellet stove is not
Yeah.
much.
That's
You're
more for like a potbelly stove in a shack
Yeah.
up north for a
Right.
deer hunt or
Right.
something like that. Yeah. All right. And so as far as the pellet stove goes, we'll talk a little bit about the cost here. So when we talk about just purchasing the stove, okay, that's a set cost. You know what that stove costs. What are we talking about range wise?
Range wise, I would say the stove itself anywhere from 2,500 to 5,000 in our store.
Yeah, 5,000. That's good. Is that because of quality or is it because of size?
Quality.
or-
I mean, you could do a cast iron model, which is gonna it's gonna have an aesthetic value to it.
Sure.
You may do an enamel finish on it. Larger stoves typically more.
Yeah.
Than the smaller stoves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then installation is always difficult to estimate because the customer has so many opinions and differences and options. And I mean, whether it's a face stone or if it's, a lot of different options, I would imagine, as far as the installation of everything around it. So that's kind of hard to estimate. But overall, said and done, I mean, to get a pellet stove in your home, low end
3,500, I would probably say.
Yeah. And if they have existing fireplace, putting that insert in, lots of times they are similar sizes, and you just have to face them off, right?
Yeah. So an insert probably in the 4,000 to $4,500 range, going up to $6,000.
Yeah. Cool.
Because you still have a chimney, obviously,
Yep.
and you're still going to run a separate pipe for that pellet stove
That's
up that chimney, 4 inch.
Yes, if you're smart, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it'll work without it, but it'll work more efficiently with a pipe.
Yeah.
Now, unless you're going to run it straight through the wall, you know,
Yeah.
a freestanding.
Well, and
Yeah,
if you size the pipe appropriately, not only is it going to be more efficient, but now it's going to operate better. You're going to have less risk of carbon monoxide and all that kind of other kinds of stuff, right?
yeah, less soot, less buildup. Better draft is gonna affect the performance of the stove. But in general, a pellet stove is an easy way to go as far as venting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason I have one.
Yeah.
Actually, in my house
Sure.
is because I couldn't do a wood stove.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't get that pipe out. So my pellet stove is the venting is going along the left side of it, and then under the stairs to the basement to the basement.
Sure.
And then out of the sidewall.
Yeah.
Because we have it's a small
Instead of
vent,
trying to
and
go all the way
it's
up
a
through it.
forced system. So
Yeah. Very cool.
a lot easier.
Yeah. And then as far as maintenance goes, what are we? I mean, it is we are burning a wood product, so there's going to be a creosote buildup, right?
No,
Don't you love the maintenance?
there's no creosote buildup.
There's not going to
There's
be
no
any.
real smoke to speak of that comes off of those stoves. It's mostly just moist, hot air. So
But in your
creosote,
chimney yourself, you do have soot.
yeah, you have soot, but you don't have
Yeah.
creosote.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you'll have that fine ash.
Yeah.
When a pellet burns, it only takes a minute for that pellet to burn from start to finish. And usually, if the stove is vented right and working properly, it's a white ash.
Okay.
So it's not like wood soot.
So it burns
fireplace.
so thoroughly that it's not going to leave any of the creosote residue on the. To me,
On the inside of the pipes, it will.
it will leave some creosote on
Yeah.
the inside of
Not-
the exhaust.
Not,
When we're talking about creosote and soot, we're talking about fly ash, and we're talking about, so I mean, in general, yes, like Bob says, this is going to be a powdery
Sure.
substance.
Sure.
Not glazed creosote that you typically find when you're
Right.
burning improperly or you have poor draft.
Yeah.
So
Or burning a bunch of pine or
Right.
whatever else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Life expectancy of a pellet stove. I mean, you've had yours for how long?
I've been going, well, I have two, are both, and I guess I could say a quadra fire.
Yeah.
I've gotten, it depends on the quality again. Like he was saying, the amount of money you spend on the stove, just a better quality is going to last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I can't give an average.
So your wife's on the comments here, and she says you can add fake logs.
Yeah, some of the stoves have a fake log that, it looks like it so you can't see the fire pot itself, but
right.
I don't know.
Oh,
then you got
okay.
to then you got to lift those up and take them out when you clean because you're vacuuming the inside of that
Yeah.
stove.
It's just a ceramic log set, like
Yeah, and it's just
or
a
concrete.
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
just something to kind of hide that pot.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. And diffuse the flame a little bit too, right? Because there's a flame that comes
Yeah,
off.
you
or-
don't want it really. It doesn't really touch the flame. It goes through it. So,
Oh, okay.
but it's
Pellet stove, fake logs. They don't.
why
They don't
I
go.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't need them.
Yeah,
It's,
it's just a heat source, basically. I mean, it's not your. It's not, well, it's got some ambiance to it. I
Sure.
mean, I've been
Oh,
over to
yeah,
your
it
house
sure
around
does.
Christmas and
Oh,
had
yeah.
it running.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yep.
It's not your wood fire. So
Yeah. Yeah. As far as other safety concerns, I mean, the face of it is going to get hot. So small children have screens. Is that?
yeah, and my
No, they learn
granddaughter.
quick. They
my
learn quick.
granddaughter, yeah, she learned pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
I mean, realistically, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, because there's a good fan blowing, and when you start it up, there's a small combustion fan going. And once the temperature gets up and that fan blows out, little kids, they're going to hit in the face with
Yeah.
the air. So it's
and the glass. I mean, the glass is the hottest part. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the whole thing, I was enticed by the way that it looked with the thing operating, the little things dropping in and the fire. I mean,
Yep.
I enjoy watching it. I can only imagine if you're a little kid and fire and all
Yeah.
that. Then you got the sparks that blow around from the blower and stuff,
And again, with the amount of money you spend for the stove, you can get a thermostat, remote control thermostat for your stove, so it will actually shut off and then start up on its own.
yeah. And I still haven't done that with mine.
And
I
so-
wish I would have.
Yeah, for years I would use a torch. I would throw a handful of pellets in the pot, take my torch and just light them, and then that was it.
Mhm.
You can buy gel starters and things like that, but the remote
you're-
controls are
Yeah.
nice.
So you were before an igniter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Way before igniter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually a little easier for me.
Yeah.
It is. You know, a
Right.
little torch and 10
And
seconds
it works
and
every
it
time
starts.
instead
Yeah.
of sometimes that igniter doesn't work and you end up with a full pot of whatever.
Is that where you see the guy going out with the propane torch, getting it going?
Yeah. And there's a lot of safety things about them too. I mean, if the fire doesn't start, the pellets will run for so long and then it'll just shut off.
Right.
Usually.
Yeah.
There's no fire.
So how long did your stove last?
Which one?
Because I ran about 10 years on my first one.
I would say that too. I don't know if we ever had a stove for 10 years. We may have early on.
Okay. And by that time it was, getting corroded on the inside.
Yeah. And that's
started replacing parts and
right. Yeah. That's the tough part when something goes wrong, figuring it out. But years over time you learn.
Right.
So
cool. And you quickly mentioned cleaning. I mean, you got to vacuum the thing out, get the ash, right? Most of them are bottom ash pit, right? Where they've got like a drawer or something that pulls out.
Yeah, I mean, I do have an ash pan.
Yep.
You have an ash pan. So generally, you're going to be, you should be in there probably every 3 days. 3 days or so.
Oh, really?
3-4 days.
That frequently. Yeah.
Well, you just want to clean that ash up in the fire pot itself. Not so much the pot, but inside the whole fire area.
I can't get to it because my wife is constantly running it.
Oh,
so it's like I'm like, Stacy, we need to actually maintain this thing.
But it's good that she's
don't you
using
dare
it,
turn
though.
that off.
Yeah, it's good to see her using it though. I mean, we have our gas fireplace, and Tammy's always sitting in front of that thing, And I couldn't imagine us not having one anymore. If we ever got a new house, if we didn't have one, we'd have to put one in, because it's like that's where she sits all the time,
Yeah, clearing the ash pan, it's going to depend on your fuel.
Right, and you're going to need to shut the stove off for half hour, 45 minutes, let it cool down. So you just go vacuum it out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Start it up again.
Very good, very good. And then as far as comparing pellet stoves, and as far as efficiencies and costs and things like that, to other types of fire management systems, whether it be a gas stove, whether it be an electric fireplace, whether it be a natural wood burning fireplace, what are you talking about as far as where does it sit?
Well, right now I don't know if we have any that are above. I know that there are, but I haven't seen too many that are above 85% right now. Above 75%, qualifying for tax credits.
Sure.
But, generally they're very good. They're going to be in that at least above 60 to 80% efficient.
Yeah.
And comparing it to other things, there's definitely gas direct vent fireplaces that are in that 85%, 80.
Yeah.
Typically, it's kind of the same range.
Yeah.
Wood burning is a little bit different because you're not controlling the fuel.
Yeah.
You're getting some different wood species, some different moisture contents, things like that.
Yeah. And to quickly explain efficiency, you guys, when we're talking about efficiency, whether it be a pellet stove or a fireplace or a water heater, efficiency is basically a percentage of cost put in to cost of product that you're getting out. So if you put $1 of pellets in, you're getting 70 to 75 cents worth of heat out of it, essentially. Right. And if you were talking about an electric fireplace, they're a lot less efficient, right? We're talking into that 50% efficiency range.
I don't even know if they are doing
There's
that.
a range.
Yeah.
If they are testing it,
they don't
honestly.
Probably don't want to broadcast
you're
it.
talking about one hair dryer or two.
Yeah.
But the electric the cost of these electric fireplaces, running them are pretty low.
They look cool too. They got all the color changing things with the glass rocks and stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, it's where it's going.
Yeah, really.
I never thought I would say that, but we've got. I'm sure you've heard about people trying to stop gas stoves from burning. There's a lot of things going on with the government.
But the electric stuff, I see it in a lot of newer houses, just because it looks cool probably, right?
Yeah, and less expensive to install.
Yeah.
And the more realistic they start getting, the more
Yeah. Well, it
people
doesn't
are just
require,
going to accept it, and that's
doesn't require chimney, doesn't require
Yeah.
cleaning, doesn't
Not
require
me.
any of that.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and most of them, most of those things are there's remote control, and the remote control has a thermostat in it. And Kate was just mentioning that you guys actually have
We have a remote for both stoves.
thermostat. Yeah. And so you want 75 degrees. You
Right
put the
here.
remote right where you are, and that's going to keep
Yep,
pumping
it'll
pellets
pump
in until
pellets.
you get 75 degrees where you are, which
Yeah,
is kind of
exactly.
cool.
nice.
And that's, the comfort factor. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily helping your efficiency, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
cool. If you had to do it all over again, Bob, I know you have the electric available to you. If you had to do it all over again, would you just go back to pellets, or would you do something?
At this point in time in my life, I'd say no because, 8 tons of pellets every year. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Get up in the middle of the night. Normally you don't have to because you you fill the stoves, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, I just
I like
the
it.
basement.
I
can only
like a
imagine.
fireplace.
Yeah.
We had an insert in the fireplace for first 15 years, and then we
Okay.
went to pellets in the insert. So,
So you had a natural
yeah, we had a
masonry
concept
fireplace?
too.
Okay, and that's a wood insert in
Yep, and we cut and split wood all summer long, and
there. And then you went to
then we went to pellets. So
Yeah. Cool. And you have one. Would you switch it out? I mean, you're kind of stuck and you can't because of the ventilation, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm done kind of looking at it, so it's not something I
Pay
stare at
attention
and enjoy.
Yeah. Well,
It's
your wife's
It's
operating it that
functioning,
often.
I mean,
yeah.
it's for heat. It looks nice, but and I guess I would do it again. It just, to me, it also depends on the where the cost is of fuel
Yeah.
compared to
per
natural
ton.
gas or compared to wood. If you have this or you have that, there was a time when pellets were very, very popular because natural gas rose so much.
Mm-hmm.
People on LP, they will get a alternative fuel appliance quickly, or they almost need one because of the fluctuation that
Yeah.
happens so much.
What was it? Was it 4 years ago, Tammy, where they had the LP prices went crazy? Yeah, I think it was four or 5 years ago, right? And the prices went so nuts. Or we had a contract where we signed and we locked in our price for the year, so we didn't really get affected all that much because the price came back down by the time our contract came back up. But man, some of those people really got nailed with huge bills that year. But
And I don't know about you, Bob, but I don't know if you'd be able to determine, but our the electric that we bill that we got last month was pretty high, and there's a lot of moving parts in
but you have
stove.
a furnace
We do have a furnace,
and the pellet stove.
but we have ours is radiator heat. So, it's we run that stove all the time, and I'm wondering how much it's drawing. I mean, you have 2 blowers, the auger.
yeah,
I don't
in
notice the
mine, I have
difference
something
with
else.
electrical from the.
Okay.
I mean, I don't pay the bills, but there's so little.
Yeah.
You're just plugging it into the outlet, so.
Right.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's going to be less than using your electric baseboard heaters you got.
Yeah, right, because those are all
Right.
220. So we have all those set at 50 usually.
Yeah. Cool.
But
Well,
there's nothing like standing in front of that fireplace before
yeah.
you go to bed.
getting all nice and warm.
Yeah, and pellet stove, you get the same exact thing out of that.
Yeah.
So it's
Just stand in
ritual.
front of
It's
it and
ritual.
rotate.
Yep.
Rotate.
Exactly.
That's like at the fire pit up north or whatever, right? But cool. Well, hey, that is a lot of information about pellet stoves, and I hope you guys found that interesting. Lots of good information at the Fire Factory. If you want to go on their website, they have a lot of different good information there for you guys to draw from. You could always give them a call. Again, they're located up in Port Washington, just off of Highway 33, the Fire Factory. And if you have any chimney stuff you need done, whether it be masonry work, whether it be cleaning, whether it be inspection, the company Chimney Concepts is the guys to call. We do have their numbers on our website, thehelpfulhomeinspector.com, and information about Larry and his company as well. But thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much,
it.
man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Well, you can get out of here if you want, buddy.
All right.
Otherwise, you're welcome to stick around. We're just
I
going
will
to have
stick
some
around.
fun stuff. All
We'll
right.
stick around and listen.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So one of the things that we're going to be doing every week, everybody, is we're going to have a giveaway. And this week we have our inaugural show here. So I am giving away a $50 Home Depot gift card to the person that can answer this question most closely to what I have written down on my agenda here. The question today is, how high must the top of a chimney generally be above the roof surface? How high above the top of the roof surface does... Let me read it. I'm just going to read it. How high must the top of the chimney generally be above the roof surface? Okay. So the first person that answers that in the comments, Tammy's going to grab our attention and let us know who it is. But you will receive a $50 gift card, and just prove it is right here, right there. So happy to give that away to whoever is out there participating. And it can't be one of my inspectors. So Dustin or Mike or Ben, you guys don't qualify. Sorry, you're out. You're out. And Bob, you can't win because the answer's on the on the board. But $50 Home Depot gift card to you if you know the answer. And feel free to use Google if you need to. As far as the next piece that we have is every week we're going to do a little bit of a mystery box battle. And the mystery box battle, how that works is we have 2 mystery boxes. So here's the 2 mystery boxes. And we are going to open them up, and there's 2 differing things in there. Generally, they live in the same space. So we may be discussing plywood versus OSB, or PEX versus copper, or whatever it may be. And we're going to try to defend our topic, or whatever our part is that we get. So if you guys, let's say it's PEX versus copper, so maybe Bob gets PEX and I get copper. I'm going to tell everybody why copper is the best thing on earth and why it's the best product to use in your home.
Copper's no good.
Copper is great. What are you talking about? And Bob would do the same for PEX. Okay, so we're going to open up our boxes, and you can choose. Would you want to feel it? Don't look at you. Do you want to?
No, I don't need to. No.
You don't care? You're good? All right,
I'm
so
good.
we're going to open our boxes, tell you what we've got, and we're going to discuss. So, Bob, I have a piece of concrete. So we put it in a bag so I didn't recognize. So I got a piece of concrete here, and Bob's got a piece of asphalt. So first of all, your part starts with ass, so it's not any good to begin with. But as far as concrete versus asphalt, the biggest conflict comes in when we're talking about driveways, and the driveways is the main area you're going to see it. You're not going to really see it on walkways and stuff like that. You're not going to see asphalt on patios. So let's talk driveways. All right. I'll get started.
Well, now you just chopped my blacktop to death. I've seen blacktop patios and blacktop sidewalks. I mean, you're ripping on me.
I guess. Well, actually, at the golf course, right?
Yeah.
They got them all. They use it to go everywhere.
My blacktop doesn't cost as much as your concrete, and I'm not going to get taxed on it when I get done using it or putting it in.
You get taxed on concrete?
On your concrete, oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, I learned something today too. Unless you're full of crap. But as far as concrete's going to last longer. It's going to perform better. I can seal it, and it's going to resist salt damage.
I disagree. It's not going to last longer. Doesn't mean it's not going to last longer.
Yours is going to deteriorate in the sun. You have an asphalt driveway, Bob, right? You have to seal your asphalt driveway every...
No, I don't do that.
Well, that's why I got that piece out of your driveway.
I fill the cracks.
I got that piece off the end of your driveway because it was all broken. That's where I got that from.
I thought I recognized that.
Yeah, and I went out last night and chopped this off of my driveway. So, but you know what? Concrete, it's a little bit more work to put it in. Right?
Agreed.
You can't just drive a thing over, but it's going to last longer, perform better. It's going to be easier to shovel. It's generally going to look better in my opinion.
Well, that's your opinion.
Yeah, but yours is going to cost a lot because you got to get it sealed. How much does the sealing run? $400 or $500, and that's every 3 to 5 years.
I don't seal.
You should.
It's cosmetic,
but if you
and
don't,
it
then
doesn't.
it's going to deteriorate because yours crumbles. The asphalt driveways will turn into gravel. My concrete will be here 20 years.
And that's why you're a home inspector and not a driveway inspector. So
I inspect driveways.
I think my blacktop's going to win.
Plus, if I park a heavy truck on it, you're going to get big old dips and humps and stuff. I can park
I will agree.
I can park a 5-ton semi-trailer on this concrete that's 4 inches thick, and it ain't going nowhere. Just saying. If you have any help for our arguments and want to chime in, you can always get in on the comments there. 3 feet, 4 feet. No, sorry, you guys are getting close, but not quite close enough. But good tries out there. So concrete or asphalt? We need a little bit of a show poll here. Tammy, can you keep track of who says concrete, who says asphalt? But if you think I won the argument, type in concrete. If you think Bob the Sasquatch Gorde won the argument with asphalt, put in asphalt. And we'll see who wins. Go from there.
I'm going to win.
I'm going to win.
Asphalt is cheaper.
Concrete's,
so I'm going to win right
better.
there.
Lasts longer. 20 years on this stuff, you guys, before you start having any problems at all. So that's the mystery box battle, you guys, for this week. Now, the next thing we got going on is we're going to talk about, and I'm always talking about how to maintain, take care of homes and that kind of stuff, but I very rarely talk about what you need to do those types of things. And so we're going to have kind of Bob come in with his 3 tools. I'm going to come with 3 tools that we both think are essential that every homeowner should have, okay? And these are going to be, we're doing hand tools today. So I know we could say power drill and hammer drill and all these other kinds of, Sawzall and that kind of, we're just talking hand tools today. And so I brought in 3 tools. We're going to take turns revealing our tools, and the audience will vote as to which person had the better 3 tools. Now, we may have the same tools in some scenarios or whatever, but I think we're probably going to end up being a little bit different. Plus,
and we talk about not just you and I having to use these tools to fix something, but, the average housewife.
The average housewife?
So my tools were picked by my average housewife.
Your average housewife. I don't know that. Tammy knows where my tools are, but if I sent her to find a crescent wrench, would you know what I'm talking about, honey?
Honestly, probably not. That's why you're around, honey.
Or if I held this up in the air, I'm going to hold up my first tool. Tammy, do you know what this is called?
Some type of wrench.
Some type of wrench. So she is beautiful and talented, and she does so many things well, but fixing stuff around her home is not Tammy's forte. So my first tool is going to be this guy. It is a crescent wrench. It's an adjustable channel locks, and I use this thing all the time. I mean, yes, you can get a regular pliers. Much more versatile than a regular pliers. You do have to make sure you're using it correctly, though. I'm going to put out a little video about how to understand how the teeth are oriented and how to properly use it so you don't strip whatever you're trying to wrench on. But that's my first one, is going to be the channel lock spot. That's a good one.
I had that one.
Did you?
But it was shot down.
It was shot down by the wife?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your first tool?
Well, just your basic straight screwdriver. I mean, this is right from the expert. Okay.
From what?
Thank you.
You got a vote?
Thank you.
Oh, now see, but the thing with the screwdriver is I don't really use a hand screwdriver very often anymore. With the invention of the smaller drills, drills and stuff, that's what I'm using a chuckless chuckless thing or whatever. And,
all
right. So screwdriver.
The average housewife again.
This is something that I think everybody uses, and it's probably the most frequently used hand tool in my household. Razor knife.
Oh yeah.
Razor knife. I mean, I got to have 20 of these things scattered around the house in my truck. I got them in every other drawer. I mean, I probably have 3 of them within reach here in the studio.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how often I use them. And I always want to make sure that I get the easy out blades, so you can just pop the blade out. And having extra blades. Well, I'm empty here, but the razor knife. I mean, I use this thing all the time. So
that was one of my choices. Also, that also got shut down.
The razor, she shut down the razor.
Well, what are you going to use? What is the average?
Cutting open bags of pellets for your pellet stove.
They tear open pretty easy.
All right. What do you got for number 2?
Oh, so my first screwdriver was straight.
First screwdriver.
Second one is another screwdriver, and that's the Phillips. Okay.
Screwdriver.
These are huge for my wife. She can fix just about anything with these. That's all I got to say about that.
You can fix a lot with a screwdriver. I mean, I use a power drill with a screwdriver bit on it.
You're going power again. My wife doesn't own a power screwdriver.
Really?
No, I do.
You didn't give her that crappy little one that I gave you that you didn't like?
She'll hurt something.
She'll hurt something. All right. So my next one, you'll be able to identify it by the sound here. I'm going to steal Larry's mic here.
I'm not hearing anything. Oh.
A ratchet set.
Well, that'll be good if your wife wants to change your spark
But it's
plugs.
not for my wife. This is useful tools that for every homeowner.
In the house?
Yeah.
Where are you going to use a crescent wrench or a socket?
All over the place.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
you're
what
not
I
supposed
say
to
about
skew
that.
the listeners by putting in wah, wah, wah.
And
Come on.
my last tool is your basic hammer. Now, this tool's been in our house since our first son, Tyler, was born because it has his name
First
carved in
Yeti
it.
carved his name in it.
I did not have this, and I was told that this is critical right here. So thank you.
I don't know about that. Hammer. I can't tell you. I mean, yes, when I'm constructing something occasionally, but these days I'm using screws and everything else.
I know.
So
I know.
Really, yeah. I mean,
I know.
You really pick all your tools?
I've been married for 36 years.
You were in construction for
that's
30
where you're,
years.
That's where you're.
I think I won this battle.
You know,
I think
you lost.
No, razor knife, channel locks,
I'm for
ratchet
sure.
set.
I'm so sure.
Essential.
That I'm going for the juice right now.
Oh,
So
please. All right, everybody vote. Who won the 3-tool battle? Who had the best 3 tools, Matt or Bob? Vote. All right, so the next thing that we're going to get into is this time of year, a lot of people are going out to their roofs, and this is our tip of the week, by the way. Tip of the week. They're going out to the roofs, and they're using the roof rakes, right? And I cannot tell you how big of a mistake that is. I've been out on so many roofs when I've seen them just get destroyed from somebody trying to rake off some snow off their roof. Folks, here in the state of Wisconsin, our roofs are required to be engineered to support 60 inches of snow load. Do you know the last time we had 60 inches of snow load on our roofs here in southeastern Wisconsin? I can't even recall. I could go back and look in some historical records.
I was
I'm sure
10.
there was one time back in 1909. Come on, really?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So I can't remember the last time we had 60 inches of snow, people. And if you think that the roof rake is preventing ice dams, you are talking to the wrong people. Ice dams are actually a thing that's formed by having improper ventilation and insulation in your soffit areas. Okay, the snow is not what's causing the ice dam. All right, and if you have ice damming, give me a call. Drop me an email. There's lots of suggestions of ways that I can help you deal with and address ice dams. Okay, but you're not going to see ice damming issues on the outside of your house. You're going to notice ice damming issues on the inside of your house because that's where that water is going to leach up underneath those shingles or whatever, and it's going to drip into your home. It'll be right around the upper corner on the outside edge of your home that you're going to see some staining and things like that. Having snow on your roof is normal. Don't think you have to rake it off, okay? And if you have an asphalt shingle, if you have a composition shingle, definitely going to cause all kinds of damage by raking that roof across the rake across the roof. If you go up and do that, you're basically going to cut, you're going to gouge, you're going to remove granular, you're going to damage your roof. And when you're talking about a roof these days going for $20,000-$25,000,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. You know, and I get wanting to protect your investment, but you want to save some money and prevent damage to your home. Watch some of our videos. I have all kinds of videos out there about ways and better ways to spend your money and spend your time to better maintain and take care of your home. So avoid using roof rakes. All right. Now, one of the things that Bob and I always did together that we enjoyed a lot was laughing, and so we're going to have a little bit of a laugh battle. You've seen this all on YouTube and stuff before, where guys do laugh battle, right? So basically the way that works is that one of us will tell a joke, and if either the person telling the joke, Bob got 3 on the asphalt. Bob got 4 on the asphalt. Bob,
No concretes yet?
You were 2.
No concretes?
There's no concrete or asphalt. I'm talking about the tools.
Oh, the tools.
So
Bob won the
far,
tools.
Bob has definitely got the tools.
All right, Bob won the tool battle. I think it's just because you kept referencing your beautiful wife.
I love you, Kate.
Yeah. Kate went on and logged in 4 different times as 4 different people to vote for Bob. So we're going to get into a little laugh battle. And the way this is going to work is one of us will tell a joke. We'll rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first. Well, it doesn't really matter because we're going to get to... I'll get our 5.
Yeah,
jokes.
we'll get our 5 then.
Yeah, so we're gonna we brought a list of 10 jokes. We're gonna use 5 of them, and the other 5 are gonna be in reserve for a showdown if we need to have a winner determined. The loser has to dance for 20 seconds. and we have some dance music queued up, ready to go. I know you're excited about the dancing.
Dancing?
Yeah. He's like, my ankles hurt, my hips hurt, and my knees hurt. I'm old. I'm like, you can just shake your upper body then if you need to, but you're gonna dance for 20 seconds because I'm gonna win this thing. But you get a point by making me laugh. If I laugh while I'm telling the joke, you get a point. Okay, so you can get points in two ways. One, making me laugh by telling me a joke, or me laughing because my own joke was too funny and I couldn't resist.
Got it.
Deal?
Got it.
All right. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
You go second. All right. So we tried to keep our jokes to the construction, home improvement, real estate type.
Tried.
Yes. Ish. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go with the first one. We're gonna start out light here. All right. I think this is the one. We'll get you on this one. All right, Bob. Why should you buy a house in Mexico?
Good question.
Because you don't have to pay so much. Pay so much? Peso?
Yeah, that's a good start for you, Matt.
Oh, that's weak. That's weak. I thought I would have had him on that one. All right, Bob. What do you got?
My wife told me to be more to get more in touch with my feminine side. So I took the car out and crashed it.
I think that's offensive to women, isn't it?
Oh,
Tammy's like, although
yeah, Kate didn't like that one either.
Tammy is a little more accident prone in our family, but that don't think it has anything to do with you being female, though.
Don't try to get me in trouble, okay? I can do that on my own.
All right, here we go. Bob, why did the hammer have to go to AA meetings? Because he was going out and getting hammered every day.
No.
Oh, you're a rock. All right, I'm going to bring out the big guns.
What'd the plumber say to the singer? Nice pipes.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, all right. She likes it too because she gets to push buttons over there. All right, Bob. Here we go. A home inspector is wrapping up an inspection and forgets what the temperature is set in the thermostat. What would be an appropriate temperature to set a thermostat at if you forgot?
I know the answer to this question.
You need to say it.
69.
I'm laughing at my own joke again. All right, so Bob's got 2 on me, I think. That's not good. All right, Bob, what do you got?
Oh. Did you, and this is not going to be related to construction because I had a hard time with that, though.
Okay.
Did you ever see the giant clams mating call?
No.
Want to do it? Want to do it?
Where are you getting these jokes from? Are you listening to Tyler?
I made that one up on my own.
I can tell.
No, I didn't, actually.
All right, Bob. So on a day here in Wisconsin, when it's coming to the inspection time, okay, if the temperatures and things were like this outside, would you be able to operate the air conditioner?
No.
How do you not laugh at that? Oh my gosh.
All right, where are we at? How many do I have left, Tammy? One joke left?
Yeah, probably about 1 because we're going to be cutting
Knock,
out in about
knock.
a minute.
Who's there?
Doris.
Doris who?
Door's locked. That's why I knocked.
All right. Let's see here. I only got 1 joke left. I can't even come back here, can I?
No, sorry, honey, you already lost. Bob won.
All right.
Oh, we're going to throw one more in there just for my wife.
Hold on. It's my turn.
Okay.
Why did the glazier get released from jail? For all of you that don't know what a glazier is, they're a person that glazes windows and puts caulking and glazing in.
I don't know.
Because exposing your caulk isn't against the law. There we go. All right.
You know what makes me laugh right away?
Exactly
Okay, one more. I got to say this one because this is good. This is good. Congratulations to my wife, who reached a new culinary milestone today by setting off the neighbors' smoke alarms.
Hold on. What was it? Set off the neighbor's smoke alarm? All right, so we have my ice damage was when we ran out of cubes during happy hour. Yeah, that is a problem. Peggy has a problem. She runs out of ice cubes when it was happy hour. So on her drinks.
Peggy said that?
Yeah, Peggy said that. All right. All right, you guys. So thanks again for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. If you have not yet, please subscribe, like, hit the bell notification on the YouTube, and follow us on Facebook. We're also on the Twitter and Instagram. You can find out all kinds of stuff about us there. And then also we're going to have our podcast up. Podcast from the show will be up every Monday. But I appreciate you tuning in today. Next week, we've got Mark Smith, a real estate agent with Keller Williams, and he's going to be coming in here. He's going to give us a update on the housing market and where the housing market is at right now. And then we're going to be having a conversation. The main topic is going to be about pre-listing inspections and getting a pre-listing inspection done on your home if you're considering selling your house. We're also going to be talking about if you were to build a home, what were some of the key features that would enhance the value of that home from a real estate perspective? So thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Special thanks to Larry Berg for coming and hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it. Bob Gorde, I will see you in about 5 weeks. Have you come back? Yep. We're talking with your son, John, about understanding your furnace and how to maintain and take care of it.
Right, and don't be afraid to go to the website for the helpful home inspector and questions. You got a question, we'd be happy.
Yep.
To help you in any way.
We're always here to help. Yeah.
Yep.
If you have any questions or anything like that, you can also enter them. If you're not going to make it to the show to view it on Saturday, you can enter them on our website, and we'll make sure to cover those on Saturday when we're chit-chatting. All right. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Remember, the better you take care of your house, the better it's going to take care of you. See you next week.